Alright, today's the day that I throw all this crap off my porch that I've bought over the last 15 years. The X56 HOTAS throttle quadrant joystick and whatever that is, throttle, yeah, that's it. Alright, UPC is right there. There's the side, there's the back, there's the bottom. Off it goes. Alright, Insignia 6-quart multifunction pressure cooker. Got this for $29 over at where did I get this from? I got this from Best Buy on a Black Friday sale. There's the back. There's the barcode. There's the bottom. There's the UPC, I mean. Alright. They don't make these things anymore. At least not for 29 bucks. Chewy. Food box. Everybody's seen a Chewy box before. Okay. What's this thing? Pop-up tent. Something my mom got. I've never used it before. It might be a shower tent or something. Something like that. Can't tell you about it. Oh, TV. Yeah. This was just a random sale that Walmart was having. This Hisense Roku TV H4 series. What was it? 43 inches. This was $128. There's the UPC code on it. So, and that would make a really good, working underneath a piece of cardboard. Working under a cardboard. How it goes. What's this say? This is a vacuum cleaner that works with a Makita battery. Yankee Oscar Whiskey Mike Oscar Foxtrot Tango. Yep, it works good. Here is the... Oh, I guess I don't have the barcode for it. Let's see. But it vacuums and it blows air. Oh, there's the model number. SER.8001. That's what it looks like. Handheld vacuum. Oh, Yankee Mike Hotel Victor Charlie 01. Alright. Actual bar light LED from Home Depot. There's the UPC. These are $25. These work good. They're magnetic. And this light rotates this way. Like this. And these magnets rotate like this. So under the hood type of a thing, this works good. 2500 lumens. Husky rechargeable. Infrared touchless work light. Alright. out. 100% recommend. Oh, and it's USB-C charge. Carry potty. Mom's never actually used this as what it's intended for. Its intended use. But she does use it for composting. There's the barcode. It's a collapsible, supposed to be a collapsible kids toilet. That works good for a compost bin on your countertop. Jet P. This was a. Oh look, it's got a little cat stuff there. It was a stainless steel automatic 7-liter automatic cat water, all stainless steel. Would I buy it and recommend it? Yeah, I would, but I wouldn't get those filters for it. I would just rip that out and then throw it away. Does it encourage cats to drink water? Yes, absolutely. No barcode. That's what it's called though. J-Pet. Yes. Sandmark lens. What I'm using right now. The case. This is a 13 Pro Max, but I'm using my 8 Plus for this one. There's the UPC. And I do get the fisheye lens. They do have a great warranty on it too as well. Freezer bags, 1 gallon. Oh no, these are quarts. Walmart. Slide lock freezer bags. Blue color. There's the UPC. Use those all the time. Quart, gallon, and 2. This was a Victron Energy MPPT solar charge controller, the MPPT 7510. If you have a car that's got a 12-volt battery, which everybody does, get one of these, put it on there, and use this as like a tie-in port for your solar panels. If you get this one that says 75 volts at 10 amps, you can put household panels on this easy, like at least 2. This is what I use to make my automated cat waterers. These are supposed to be chicken feeders, but they work just as good for cats. What I do is you just get any bucket. I use a 5-gallon bucket, drill a hole in it, put some EB6000 or Gorilla Glue equivalent around this part in the bucket on the inside and out. Let it sit dry and fill it with water. You're good to go. Never had any issues with these over a couple years. When it does freeze or it's going to get cold, yeah, we'll get ice down in there. So just remember that. Other part of the Victron. What was this? Universal cross roll rack, pool rack, tailgate. I don't know what this is. Something my mom bought. There's the UPC. Alright, air cleaner. Do I recommend you get one of these? Absolutely, get an air cleaner. I haven't ever changed these filters out in here, but I do take them out and knock the... I use a blower to blow all the dust out and the whatever the debris on it, and then I wash it down too as well. So that's it. The Avoid air purifier, the 600S. Oh, it does say it's HEPA. These things are noisy, so just remember that. If you have cats or dogs, definitely get one of these. Don't even hesitate to not even think about it. Alright. UPC is in here somewhere. right there. I got this at Best Buy on sale. I think it was like $200 something. Yeah, SkyMe automated cat feeder. Even if you believe that you have a good pet sitter, always get one of these when you go away. Because I have had pet sitters that say they're going to feed my animals and don't. And then they'll come by just before I get home to do it. So this helps them out and it helps you out. So if you ever get one that decides something comes up and they got to go attend to it, get this one. Do you actually need the camera for it? No, don't put this outside either because of raccoons and stuff. They'll rip this little flap off of there. See that flap? They'll rip that off. But this holds 22 pounds of cat food dry. Can't remember what was the liters on this. They go by liters. Smart Feeder AI Plus. This would have a night vision camera on it too as well. So if you did leave it outside like I did, anything that comes up, possums, raccoons, other animals from the neighborhood, they will show up and eat from this. And you can program your voice into it too. So it'll, when it goes on its feeding schedule, it'll go, hey kitty kitty, or you know, whatever you want. Voicemail, voice message to your pets. Oh yeah, SMK 37 Pro, that's 37 keys. Do you need 37? Why not? I mean, it's already kind of big, but it's already kind of compact. It's exactly the size of this thing right here. This box, they actually have a newer version out that has these, and these are actually just touch sliders instead of finger sliders. See those? These distortions. I believe the correct term for it is called an arpeggiator or something like that, but you can hook this directly to, it's USB-C and it's Bluetooth. USB-C chargeable and Bluetooth. And you can connect this directly to your iPhone wirelessly, and you can use GarageBand, which is free. 100%. Trash. Gas One model number. This is supposed to be like a miniature version of these propane dual or butane stoves. I wouldn't get this one though because it's too small. People are like, well, I'm getting it because it's small and compact. Well, yeah, but the actual butane bottle itself, this thing, these butane bottles, those are actually big, longer than this actual thing here. So even if you're getting this because it's smaller, it's still going to reduce your profile on the side by the length of this isobutane bottle. Also, this is only 7,500 BTUs. If you're already carrying something that's this size, you may as well just go for the 15,000 BTU unit one. It's going to take up space one way or the other. Even if you put a propane bottle on it with the dual fuel propane adapter, you're going to have this concoction type of a thing. So do I recommend Gas One brand? Yes. Do I recommend the dual fuel ones? Yes. But get the larger one. This is the GS800P. You want to get the one that has a full thing that you can put a stew pot on there. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, and here's the UPC if you want to look this up. And I did make a YouTube review on this thing. Usually I try to go cordless anytime I can, but this Bauer, this is called a burnishing sander. Surface conditioning tool. All right, these barrels are like giant flapper wheels or heavy grit something or other, right? So if you need to, I've never seen this until I saw something on YouTube when they were trying to apply a Raptor liner, a DIY spray-on bed liner, and they use this instead of a palm sander because these flapper discs can actually get into the corrugated grooves on truck beds and inside van flooring. So that's what it actually looks like, and it's a big boy. All right, 9 amp, 1000 to 3700 RPM. This I was going to use on a sailboat. There's the UPC. I got this at Harbor Freight, of course. Bauer brand is Harbor Freight. There's more of the back. You can find these. This was $120, $25 after the inside member track and parking lot sale. Pressure regulator valve, Apollo PEX version 3/4. Yes, get one of these. Okay, they will save you a headache when you are trying to deal with the pressure inside of your house. And this one actually had the little hand turny thing, so you can just adjust it with your actual hand. Like up here, there's a spigot. It's just like a round spigot on the top of this valve. And then there's a double nut right here to lock it into position. Make sure that you do use pipe dope on here, and inside of these threads there is a rubber gasket, so make sure that you put those in there. Make sure they're in there when you put those in. 100% do this. It will take you about 15 minutes to install if you already have PEX. You're putting it in line with PEX, you're good to go. That's the model number. That's the UPC. That's the name of it, an Apex. Apollo PEX pressure reducing valve with gauge. Beer. It's not the monk beer that I like. I can't remember what it is, but it is a Hefeweizen. It's like Blue Moons, but without the orange. Gaming Drive Xbox on sale at Walmart for $119. It was the 5 terabyte hard drive, 2.5. Not going to show you UPC because it's probably got like a thing on it. Serial number. This, if you don't have power tools like the one that I just showed you earlier in this video for the Makita, this one is alright, but I wouldn't make this my daily driver. If I could just pay $5 more and get the Makita knockoff cloned version of something like this that runs off of your actual power tool batteries that you currently have. So yeah, pocket vac, anything vacuum for your keyboards and things like that, like your little cup holders and stuff in crevices in your vehicles. Absolutely need some sort of a vacuum cleaner, a small one like this, to save your sanity. Cuisinart. This is not an induction stove, it's not gas, and it's not coil. It's a ceramic, so it turns red. It's like this, but it was a single coil burner. And instead of getting, if you don't want to wait for an old iron burner to heat up, you get one of these. And you don't want to use induction because induction stoves have crazy EMI, electronic magnetic interference, coming off of them, and you don't want to use gas, you still want to use electric. Use this. Does it get hot? Yeah, it gets real hot, and it's way more. It's almost instant compared to the old coil burners, if you know what I'm talking about. Pit Pat, 1000% agree to get one of these. If you want to track your dog or cat, this is big enough to put on a cat, or small enough, I should say. And there is a barcode for it. You will instantly know what I'm talking about when you see that little dog pop up. Is there an interior? Yeah, they've got this little cute little dog here. Anyways, this will last you at least 3 days. Attractive GPS. This is a one and done. You buy it. What I pay for this? $165. I paid $165 out the door. On sale for these, I have like 4 of them. It doesn't give you like second to second navigation of like where they've been. It only gives you where they're at, but it lasts. And the Attractive only lasts 8 hours. This lasts me at least 3 days. So yeah. And also combine this with an AirTag, and then that's probably the best setup that you can get for a long multiple day use GPS tracking device. And it also runs off of whichever tower is available off of the 3 networks, the AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. So unlike some of the other trackers that only stick with one cellular service, this runs between all 3. And this is the name of it, Pit Pat. This is one here. If you have a pet and they escape or they get out or you let them roam, get something like this. Put it on a harness, because more than likely it'll get caught on something and pop off. For the the breakaway leashes or breakaway collars. All right. Makita had a buy one of these things, get like something like this for free. So I actually got the 18-volt blower with this for this buy one get one. And this 18-volt, now this actually has a shaft drive in it and has these multiple attachments that you can put on there. This one came with the pole saw on here. I use it to cut down saplings that are like hard to get to, or thick. What are those trees called? Cedar trees. How their branches are densely packed and go from top to bottom all the way. You can use this and then just stick it underneath there on the ground and get it. Also put a graphite coating on here. The graphite spray, I spray it on here and I do about 8 coats on this thing, and it just slides right through stuff. And it does have an oiler on it as well. Now this is the shaft drive on it, and remember Makita makes a star bit spline like a transmission pattern for their rods, not the more commonly universal square type. All right, so the blower, the 18-volt blower, this was how I thought about it in my mind as I looked at the CFM that the 36-volt version or the 40-volt version of this puts out versus the 18-volt version. And this is only 20 CFM, so this is 435, and the actual CFM for the 36-volt is 453, I believe, something like that. Anyways, here's all the attachments you can get with it. This was a Home Depot BOGO thing that I got, so to accompany my 36-volt weed whacker, which I absolutely love. And I don't like switching between string trimmer and like a fixed head type of setup, so I just go between 2 weed whackers. Much easier to do. Natural Healing Handbook. I've heard this is really good. It's got all kinds of like floral stuff in it. My mom got it. AncientRemedies.com. And there is the UPC. Alright. Cast iron, 100 years and still cooking. Yeah, that's definitely that's definitely spot on with their advertisement. I bought mine new, but I bought the Dutch oven, which came with a lid, and the lid also fits onto a 10-inch Lodge stainless steel pan. So buy this, buy the pan, and you'll have a lid for both. Alright, 2-ton pump jack. Everybody should have one of these in your vehicle. Makes it a lot easier than the bottle jacks. Here's the UPC on it. I got this at Walmart. They're generally like $25 to $36, but definitely get one if you don't have one, and put it in your car and replace it with the crappy thing that they give you from the OEM. Worth its weight in gold. Yes, definitely get one of these. I'm a heavy dude, and I would say get a 750 watt. If you're anything like pushing 180 to 250, get yourself, this was the Hover One Dynamo. I bought this on a Walmart Black Friday sale for $150. It does have 8.5 inch pneumatic tires. I went ahead and put a solid tire on it. Solid tires off of Amazon, and these things are such a pain in the ass. Like they are brutal to get on and off, especially those tubeless ones. But once it's on, it's on. And I use it like if I'm at a Home Depot and there's a Walmart like a mile away, or a Harbor Freight, or like a Home Depot, I'll just jump on this scooter and drive around on it. Okay, the Hover One Dynamo. Does it have a Bluetooth app? Yeah, it does, but there's 3 speeds on here. You know, fast, slow, slower. And this is an e-brake. I've never had an issue with this. Even going down some real steep inclines like Seattle, Washington has in their inner city. Yeah, it just reverses the polarity of the motor, and yes, it works perfectly fine. Word of advice: do not try to have someone pull you with this thinking that you're going to regen your battery and hold that e-brake in, right? You'll get an overvoltage if you're not going slow enough to recharge that. This does say 264 pounds, 16 miles per hour, and 9 miles. That's not on the flat. I would say you could get maybe 11 miles per hour, and you're only going to get 3 miles round trip on a flat, not 9 miles like it states. So be mindful of that. You can find these on Temu, not this exact brand, but the same styling, like 8.5 inch tire with a solid frame, and it folds right here, so it folds into any trunk or back seat perfectly fine. If you're on a boardwalk, get one of these. I mean, $150 for something like this is absolutely a good deal. Is there a UPC on it? Does it say minimum battery? It was a 36 volt battery too. Oh, it says weight is 20. Here's the specs on it. It does say it's 25.6. And be careful when you're going off curbs. If you eat shit, this bar can break you. It would be like a baseball bat. Oh, yep. Here is the UPC code. Right there. Right there. All right. And look at this bad boy. This is a Westinghouse 4500 dual fuel DF propane and gasoline. I've never run propane or gasoline in this one. And the one that I bought, and it just, I think it's like half a pound of pressure for the propane to make this thing actually run. So low flow on the pressure. It comes with the pressure regulator for it. Does have a 30 amp plug right here. I did try plugging it into a 14,000 BTU unit LG window air conditioning unit. I think something in the LG circuitry says that you have to do a bonded neutral, or I can't remember if this is neutral, an unbonded neutral, or if it's a bonded neutral. But somewhere in here, you just open like one of the flaps and there's a neutral that's bonded to the frame. You would just undo that and like wrap it with electrical tape, so that like if you have an issue like that, then you won't have, or you're connecting it to a service panel in a house, you wouldn't have an issue with that. You're not supposed to have a double bond on it, ground neutral bond. And it does have a 30 amp RV plug right there. It's perfectly fine for running two 5,000 BTU unit window air conditioning units. And I did get this. I got this in California for $494, right? At a Lowe's of all places, and they're usually more expensive than anything else. Here's the outlet pattern for the plugs. Do I still use it? Yes, I still use it. It has a pull cord on it too as well. And it also comes with a battery. You can get lithium iron phosphate batteries now, secondhand or aftermarket, and put them in here. There's the UPC on it. And it does say carb compliant. Alright, so that was the Westinghouse iGen 4500 dual fuel. Now you can pick up something like this called a Wind, and it actually is the same size profile as this, but it has a 240 switch on there, so you can turn it from 120 to 240. Another SkyMe. Definitely recommend you get some sort of an automated cat feeder, and this did come, and this is powered by USB-C. USB. This is USB powered, so you can take an external battery brick and just plug this in and leave it for like a couple days. Growatt. Alright, so here's my inverter, the Growatt inverter. It was the Min 6000 TL-X. They have since come up with a different version of this, a more improved, I would say, that actually has 3 MPPTs on it. And I think it's battery capable too as well. But here are the specs on that. This one I'll probably actually keep. Instapot. This was my mom's. Yeah, okay, so she got the 3-pint one. And a stainless steel liner for these. You can get a stainless steel liner, or this came with a stainless steel liner because she doesn't like that PTFE nonstick. And I don't blame her after reading about that crap. That's some nasty stuff. So yeah, the Instapot does have a small version of it, like a 3-quart or whatever you want to call it. It's almost like a slightly larger rice cooker, but it does just as good. This one pulls 700 watts at peak, and the original one that the first one I showed you, the 6-quart one, which is twice the capacity, this pulls 1200 at full peak. But they don't run constantly like that, so just keep that in mind. If you're trying to run, if you're trying to do some power auditing, or cautious of your power consumption or what your inverters are capable of handling, there's a UPC for it. And I would definitely say if you're going to get one, just get this. But remember, you could get a rice cooker and I think it's 2.5 liters, or maybe it's 1.5. And it does, those run off of 300 to 350 watts. So it's twice the amount of watt. This run pulls twice the amount of watts as a convection rice cooker. A 3-ton floor jack, absolutely have one of these if you start having a bunch of crap. So I actually use this to lift my storage shed up. Or if you have a van, like a cargo van, you get yourself one of these. They're heavy, but they make your life a lot easier if you're on flat land. You know, if you're on a flat hard surface like concrete, pavement, something like that, asphalt, definitely good to go. There is the UPC. I got this at Harbor Freight for, man, I want to say it was $79 on a Black Friday / parking lot sale / have those 20% coupons that they usually used to have. I don't know if they have those anymore. That's it. Now I have seen guys going over there, and there's a floor jack that's a 3-ton, but it's actually longer by maybe 3 inches deeper. Costs a little bit more, but they're definitely adamant about getting it. And if you're too cheap to actually get a gantry type floor lift for a vehicle, you can get a couple of those and just work them in unison to get them going upright. Samsung 32-inch smart TV. Bought this a long time ago. My mom's kind of up on the Samsung brand for South Korea. But I think pretty much anything you buy now, you are getting a relatively similar quality. So this was 32 inches, and I got that. This was definitely more than that 43 that I paid $128 at Hisense. Hey Tux, you want to come up? Alright. The Ion Party Box. Are there better options out there now? Yes, there are. The battery in this I don't think works anymore for mine, but yeah, it worked. It worked really well. This was a $70 Black Friday sale at Walmart, and it did its job for what it was. But now you could get like a JBL Flip or something, 7, that has stereo surround sound and Aurora Cast with Bluetooth 5.4, I think it is, and it's USB-C charged. This isn't. It's straight wall plug charging. But it does have all these little cool things. Oh, it does have an AM/FM radio on it too. But yeah, for $70, this wasn't really a bad deal for what it was when it was. Take your money and try buying something else. Air compressor, 1000%. Recommend getting this. It runs off of the Makita batteries. It does go up to 165 on the pressure rating. You want to make sure that you get something that goes high, or that does handle the higher pressures on it. This runs on 12 volt too as well. So if you don't have a Makita battery, or one's dead, you just plug in a 12 volt cigarette lighter. To your accessory lighter on your car, or EcoFlow or Power Station, whichever one has something like that, and this will suck 12 power just fine without the need for a battery. And it does have the digital gauge on here. Yep. This one I got from my mom. So these run you about $36 off Amazon. And yeah, if you try buying a Makita version of something like this, it's going to cost you at least over $100 easy. And was this brushless copper motor winding 6S, something intelligent. All right, anyways, that's it. Yep, this was on Amazon. Where's that UPC? Did I already pass it? Okay, and there's the UPC. This is the flat style that sits flat on its base. I have one that is another clone, and it is the pistol grip type. Both of them do the same exact thing. These SunForce solar panel things, yeah, they work. They use AA's. You can put lithium in there if you want, lithium rechargeables, but make sure it's not like the one that has that little USB plug on the side. I have had issues with these lights just pulsing like that, and then they end up dying pretty soon. These were SunForce. I think they're made by Westinghouse. I got these at Sam's Club. I think these were like 40 bucks a piece. If you're gonna try like doing solar and you're gonna have a lot of solar, a lot of these electric lights like this, these panel lights, I would just say instead of having a bunch of these and trying to route these panels and it starts looking a little bit like a, come on, man. If you got like 5 of these things sticking up, they start looking funny, right? So just find yourself something that's like this, a DC powered version. And I would also look for something that has not built-in lithium, but maybe like a 18650 lithium cylindrical replaceable cells. That way you're getting lithium power, and make sure it's got like some sort of connectivity like USB-C that you can run into it. And then just run them all back to, get some real long USB-C cords and then run them all back to a battery with a solar charge controller. You could probably do it off of a C200, Anker C100, 200, excuse me. An Anker C200 has USB ports coming off of it, and it also has an XT60 going into it up to 100 watts. So you could run one 100 watt panel into a battery storage bank like the that already has the MPPT solar charge controller on it, has the USB ports on it, it's Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and all that, and then you just run them straight into something like these and make your lighting fixtures like that. And then you just use one big ass panel, or like one 100 watt panel, so you don't have like 5 of these panels sticking up everywhere. Also, this had a barrel connector on it too, so here is the UPC on it, but I bought these like 5 years ago, maybe longer. But yeah, they still work. They get a little bit yellowed on them, but you can just brush them up if you want. With a Scotch-Brite pad, one of the non-scratch ones. Another one of those bar lights, magnetic lights that you can put on stuff. Works really well. Even sticks to the outside of your vehicles too. Everybody needs an Irwin vise. Definitely have to. 6-inch. Nothing less. Standard. You'll always have something that you need to work on. And it's great to have something that's heavy enough that can clamp something down and also has a flat beating space if you ever need to beat the crap out of something or flatten something out. Irwin Record Mechanics vise. That's what it's called. 6-inch Mechanics vise. Alright. Get some of these big packages. Alright, here's the blower that came with the weed whacker. The Makita. What was this? XB, X-Ray Bravo Uniform 03 Zulu. Alright. This is the blower. Does it have this? And it was an 18 volt. Here's the UPC. There's a full picture of this. Let's see here. I was looking for the CFM on here. You think they would put something like that on? Oh yeah, they say it's 100 and also say 187, 187 kilometers per hour, or 160 miles per hour at max air volume, or 458 CSM, 459. So maybe the 36 volt was 480. I know it didn't break 5, so yeah. What's in there? Oh, the manuals for it. Yeah. Oh, and it came with a battery too. Not that blower. That was a tool only thing. But the pole saw and the weed whacker, the 18 volt, attachable one, came with the charger, and it came a standard 18 volt Makita charger, and it came with a 4 amp hour battery. $212. BOGO sale online from Home Depot. Triple ball adjustment hitch. What did I get this for? Oh, pulled a 5,000 pound sailboat with this. Yeah. Yeah, 100% worth it. Can't remember what I paid for it. Harbor Freight. I mean, definitely a good setup for what it was. And hauled the sailboat from North Carolina down to Pensacola, Florida. Here's a solid shot of it. Here is the UPC. Oh yeah, this TV. Oh. 55-inch Element. 55-inch Element 4K. Bought this 2019 Black Friday sale. $200, $199 from Target. Last one that they had when I was walking in. Yep. That was definitely a no-brainer though. Oh, man. Have I ever used the smart Wi-Fi stuff on here? Nope. Haven't used it. But I have played Fortnite on here with no issues. Like, it doesn't have any frame rate drops or anything like that. Like some TVs. And I also didn't have to change the setting for gaming mode or whatever it was, low latency mode. It just worked as is. 8 millisecond response time. Right there. Brightness, resolution, viewing angle, 1000:1 contrast ratio, 8 milliseconds, 16:9, 3 HDMI component, VGA debug. Not like anybody uses that stuff anymore. 3.5 audio, headphone, optical. All right, there's your UPC on it. What model was that? Oh, there it is. I believe that's what it is. Lima Echo 5 Golf Echo 9 Dash Bravo 4. Beaver pop-up tent. Supposedly this is like the clams. Can't tell you. Haven't used it, but I did get these. Or my mom did. So when she does #vanlife, she can just pop one of these out and have like a little dome clam thing going on outside. tent for some extra walking around space, you know, if you're gonna be like boondocking for a minute. Oh, multifunction mixer card. So this was actually, there's no UPC on it. Made in China. Oh, here we go. What's it say? This was a sound card that I got. It came with a recording 16-bit 48 kilohertz 90 decibel signal to noise ratio, 16-bit 48 playback at 100 decibel signal to noise ratio. This is Bluetooth, by the way, and it did have OGT. It is Bluetooth. It is wireless. It is USB-C. You take two phones or two audio inputs, and then you can overlay them together without having to use your... This is actually a standalone broadcasting thing right here. I mean, a standalone mixing card. So you can use two phones and then play audio on Bluetooth with one, and then control the audio sound. You can also like do voice change. It also does ducking too. So like if you have music playing in the background and you decide that you want to talk, you know, like a DJ or something, you don't have to drop the volume level down. You just hit, it's called ducking, but that's not what it's called on this. It's something else. Yeah. Oh, that was this. The actual card was called on the box metal thing itself case. Oh, this does have 48 volt phantom power for XLR cable. This was called the C500 Honey Sonic. C500 Honey Sonic. Really impressed. The entire like structure of the thing was made out of metal, and it does have RGB lighting on it that you can turn off. The sound effects weren't really that great on it. It just does like, you know, chipmunk voice and super low voice. Disco bed. Definitely recommend these. I still have these. Yeah, tape up these poles when you get them. If you're gonna leave this in a permanent configuration, right, in a permanent setup, tape these poles. It comes in 3 sections inside of here, and those poles will kind of slide in and out if you don't tape them together, and then it'll pinch your canvas. These tops are still working. They are starting to delaminate on the bottom, but overall, oh yeah, this was the Disco Bed large version of it. Yeah, 1000% recommend these. These break down into two equal carries of 35 pounds each, I believe. And they are super sturdy. They are definitely way easier to assemble than the old school military cots that you have to physically stretch over and put onto a nipple. These discs right here slide into the disco bed, and this is big enough for 2 people. Definitely get the large. And they do have these like Velcro stash things on the side. So during the winter, what I do is I drape a blanket over top of it and I sleep inside of here, and that keeps all the heat trapped on the inside. And then during the summer, I sleep on the top. And then you could just store your stuff on top, like here. So your go bags and stuff, put them up top, and then you just alternate them to the bottom. And then say you're in a closed space, like I had this in a Dodge Grand Caravan 2005 or 6, the 3.6 liter, but this fits perfectly in the back, and I could close the hatchback in there and have room, slide room to maneuver on this side here. But yeah, and then I just use this as a shelf for myself, to put my stuff on. And if I had way too much stuff in my van, like I would put it in the front seat, and then or on the sides here, and then when I'm not sleeping, I would put it under here, and stack it up on here and use that as a shelf. All right, so that's it. Disco, the portable bunk bed, Disco, right? And there's the UPC. 1000%. 1000% get these. I wouldn't even get those blow up mattresses because those things leak eventually. You know, if you're having company come over. Yeah. Oh, speaking of inflatable beds, here you go. These, the ones that come with the pump. Now I've heard after these pumps go bad, and they start getting leaks in them, what you can use these for is actually like a water bladder, right? So if you got rainwater or something, even if like you want to water your garden or something, or just something for an emergency water backup, you can just use this as a water bladder. All right, there is the. I've gotten away from these and just went ahead and just sleep on the floor with a sleeping bag. Inlet twin airlock. Can't remember how much these cost, but you can get them at Walmart. Oh, Bissell stick vac 3-in-1. I don't think I have this corded one anymore. I just went with the Makita stick vacs, and that's it. With a Makita cyclonic tube attachment thing, works great. This Bissell 3-in-1. I mean, if you don't have a vacuum cleaner, get something. You need something to keep your living space clean. There's the UPC, and there is the entire front packaging for it. All right. So when I first got into Makita, they didn't have these subcompacts, but if you have anyone that doesn't have tools, I would start them off in these subcompact thing. Now, this subcompact used to also include a Sawzall, a subcompact reciprocating saw. Definitely look for these on Amazon. Oh, these are brushless too. I mean, like, they're super small too, but they still pack the same amount of punch as the traditional Makitas. Here's the model number for this combo. Charlie X-Ray 401 Sierra Yankee Bravo. Alright. And it did come with 2 LXT batteries, and I believe this was a quick charger. Alright. But yeah, if you can, go with the subcompact versions of these. Definitely shrinks up your footprint. Oh, here's the UPC on it. All right. Man, when tablets first came out, yeah, when tablets first came out, that's what I got. It was a Toshiba one. Or was this a... Oh, or was this a laptop? I think this might have been the laptop. If this was a laptop, then it was the laptop when USB 3 first came out. Yeah. And it had a touchscreen and everything on it. But the touchscreen on this went out because I had it sitting in Florida in the sun in the car, and it like completely jacked up the touchscreen digitizer on it. Anyways, was it good for what it was? Oh yeah, and this was a convertible, so you know, before, you know, when Lenovo had the Yogas, this was Toshiba's first version of that. Starlink Gen 3. Is it worth it? If you have no internet and you need it, yes, it's worth it. When I first fired this sucker up in the Home Depot parking lot, and it only took me about 30 minutes to set it up, and that was in the dark. When I did a first ping test on it, it came back as T-Mobile. So what this actually does is it just bounces the signal from a satellite, and the satellite's actually acting as a repeater down to a cellular tower. So that's how Starlink works. Okay, so don't get confused and think that, oh, Starlink is a satellite internet thing, right? I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's like a satellite repeater, and then it beams it back down to a local cell tower, like one of your nearest cell towers that it can hit. That's how that works. And that's why when you do a speed test on it, it will always ping a server that's like in your local area. That's not an actual physical satellite uplink station. High capacity scale digital Taylor makes a 33 pound or a 15 kilogram capacity, which is the minimum cutoff for baggage weight for carry-on as well. So instead of buying one that only goes to 11 pounds and paying the same price, you can find these that do 15 kilos or 33 pounds at Walmart, and they use AA batteries, I believe. Here is the UPC on these. And these also work great for if you're trying to mail off stuff too as well. So a mailing weight, mailing scale, perfect. So you don't over exceed your weight limit. Oh man, here you go. Look, the EcoFlow River Gen 1. Gen 1 of the EcoFlow River. And believe it or not, they actually did. This was an NMC chemistry battery in it. They did have a light on it. They did have a light on the original River Gen 1s. This isn't even a plus, and they came with the 600 watt inverters on them. All right, and they came with fast charging, and I believe this was... You could charge in and out of that USB-C. Not quite sure if that's correct or not. But yeah, I definitely like the light. And you see this? The screen on here? The screen on here was nice. They don't use this colored screen anymore. And if you want the one that has a 600 watt inverter, you have to have the plus. You have to buy the plus versions. Now, my plus versions that I have of the River 3, I paid $148 for it, and I paid $168 for my River 3 Pluses. Do not get the River 3s, just the basic River 3s now, which is what the current gen is that they're on. And I will give you a UPC, but I'm going to block that up because it's got all my serial numbers on it. You can, though, read the specs, hopefully. If not, I will. All right. Okay. They do have good customer service if it's in warranty. If it's not in warranty, don't even hassle with it. Just take your money and go buy yourself something, a more current version of something. And I believe they have 5-year warranties on their new stuff. Well, anything that's the LFP and not the NMC chemistry, which they don't use anymore. Well, I shouldn't say that. On their River 3 Plus wireless, they have an external MagSafe wire charging pad that actually is the battery. So that was pretty cool. What's this? Vizio 32-inch. Not sure how much I paid for this at the time that I bought it for, but I'm sure it was sub 2. You know, you can get 32s for pretty decent price these days. And always make sure that you're getting it at least 1080p full HD, right? Nothing less. I don't know why they still make 720p's when that 4K TV that I had over there was working perfectly. That 4K 55-inch TV that I bought like in 2019 was only $200. Black Friday sale, the Hisense. No, it was the Element. Yep. Oh man. All right. This bad boy right here. Is it a good air conditioner? Yes, for a 14,000 BTU unit. I paid $400 for this bad boy. maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Anyways, it's a dual inverter, okay? Look, dual inverter. 50% more, 35% more efficient. So if you get any kind of an inverter these days, even if it's a mini split, make sure you're getting an inverter based one. This on startup only pulls 500 watts. That's a 14,000 BTU unit, window air conditioning unit, that pulls 500 watts on startup. So think of it as a soft start, and then it ramps itself up. On full tilt, after having it for a couple of years, it pulls 1530, so 1,530 watts. But when it was brand new on full tilt and high heat outside, it wouldn't push past 1250, 1,250 watts. So if you are going to use this on a wall outlet, make sure you dedicate it direct for this unit and nothing else is turned on that thing, okay? Because you're probably going to use this full time. All right, what's the model number of this? And yeah, you gotta clean these things out too. So, you know, just use low pressure water and some cleaning stuff. First year I had this, I didn't clean it at all, and it got black mold in it. So you have to go in and actually like physically wipe it down. And what I started doing to prevent the actual mold growth inside of here was to just go ahead and spray Lysol in it after it was fully cleaned down. So maybe once you start, if you start with it, just spray Lysol in there every now and then. You know, like maybe once every 2 days, just go give it a blast inside of that thing, and then make sure that it's always cleaned out. Because it does have that little cheapo, you know, thin, like lint trap type of a thing that could definitely use some better filtration on it. So if you want to get yourself a box or something to put around it, depth is 29, made in Thailand, room air conditioner. It still works to this day. I'm currently using it until I can buy a mini split. So I did buy a mini split off of a 12,000 BTU mini split off of TikTok Shop for $560 out the door, I believe it was, with coupons and things like that. But it's 120 volt 60 hertz inverter mini split from Cozy Wave, yeah, COZEWAVE. Damn, what's the model number on this thing? I do not have it. Oh, here it is. Right here. Yeah. There is the model number right there. Right there. Lima Whiskey 1522 India Victor Sierra Mike. I bought this at Home Depot, and it did fit. The entire thing fit in the back of a 2015 Chevy Spark with the seat dropped down and the hatch closed. So can you get this thing to your house in a subcompact car? Absolutely, yes. It had exactly 1/4 inch on each side to fit between the drop down seats. LG dual inverter, 14,000 BTU. Room size 25 by 32 or 800 square feet. Oh, they do make something. Midea makes a U unit like this, so you don't. It slides right in between here. It slides in between their air conditioning units, and it's more like it's inverter, but it's also built more like a mini split. Everybody's running around acting like they don't know nothing when COVID's coming on, right? If you got something going on with you, then you should definitely check it out. And you can always go get yourself a compound microscope. This one has LED lithium tab batteries in it, you know, like the 2032s or whatever those are. And my lights still work on here. Okay, it's got a deck light and it's got a bottom light. So it's got a light here and it's got a light that comes up here through there. And instead of using dye, it actually has a color wheel on it like this that you can just spin from like neutral to whatever the other colors are. So instead of dropping dye on something, now you can just spin it. And this is a composite frame. It's not metal. That is a metal deck. And this is a 3 compound microscope. 3 objective compound microscope. I think it's like 10, 40, and 1000, or it might be 40, 100, and 1000, something like that. Got this off Amazon for $75. There's zero excuse to not know what's in your stuff, you know, when the actual medical equipment to do it, or the lab equipment to do it, is this inexpensive. Tango Echo Lima MU Mike uniform, model number X-ray Sierra Papa dash 7, so let's say 75. That's what the microscope looks like. And make sure that you buy some slides, because, you know, slides break. Walmart booster cable, 20 feet. Make sure you don't cheap out and get the thin gauge versions of it. This one was a 4 gauge. I think you can go down to a 2 gauge now at Walmart. Yeah, if you need to jumpstart your car, don't screw around. Get yourself something that works. So like $20 to $50 is what you can pick those jumper cables up for. I got this on sale for 28 bucks, a clearance sale at a Walmart. Like, I didn't really need a compressor, but I bought one. So I bought it in Colorado. This was before Makita built. This was years ago. So this is before I got those Chinese clone Makita air pumps, right? So there you go. Briggs & Stratton. They probably have a different brand over at Walmart, but this was definitely a Walmart clearance thing. Oscillating floor fan. Not really big on these, and I don't have it. These things always like break, and this crap always gets stuff in here that you gotta clean out. I mean, just like any other thing. And this was a twist lock, I believe, a friction tight ring on here that didn't work quite well. These always end up being e-waste at some point in their life. What was that? Oh no, I got this at Fred's, but you know what I'm talking about. They're all the same. 20 bucks for a 16-inch oscillating pedestal fan. I guess if you sleep on a bed, you'd probably want something like this, so you know it's elevated and can get you. And if we actually made some halfway decent insulation for houses, you know, then yeah, we wouldn't have such issues. Franklin 17-foot multitask ladder. I actually use it over here as my cat ladders on the house. You know how like #vanlife people have ladders on their van? That's what I use for my cat, so they can climb up and down onto the roof and go from the front to the back. Since I live out here in kind of like a woody area, I don't want them getting chased by coyotes and have no place to go, or a big ass raccoon, because raccoons can get feisty. So yeah, it's a easy solve for building a cat ladder, unless you want to do the wood thing. But this is aluminum, and it's, you know, and it lasts. OSHA ANSI compliant, up to 300 pounds. I bought this at Harbor Freight years ago, okay? Back in the 20 teens for $75. Of course, Black Friday sale or whatever it was, like a garage sale or something, parking lot sale maybe. Usually I get these on the parking lot sales, and when they used to have those 20% off coupons, that's what I got. I would get my stuff there. But yeah, it's still working, and I use it. They have a POW, 6,000 BTU. It's 6,000 amp charger. Is it actually 6,000? Not sure, but it did start an old Massey Ferguson tractor that had been sitting for had fuel sitting in it for at least 2 years. This Amazon Black Friday sale, $79. It was like, I believe, $82 after tax. If you can find it cheaper than that, definitely get it. Definitely works. It's USB-C charge. I also use it to jumpstart my riding lawnmower when my riding lawnmower is not ready to go after the winter. Multifunction jump starter, W68. So yeah, it does have USB-C charge on it, USB-C out on it. It has a flashlight built into it, and it does have those little short jumper cables. Is it worth it? Yeah, absolutely. You can do multiple jumps off of this thing, no issue. QC 3.0 18-watt charger, 16 times LED, so 3 flashlight modes. Start your car batteries in seconds, and that's absolutely true. It will start a diesel tractor. It will start a Ram ProMaster cargo van. Is there no? Where's the? How's there no UPC on this? I'm not seeing a UPC on this at all. Rotate it like corn. Let's go on the bottom. Nothing on the bottom. Nothing on the top. But yeah, Avapow. And I don't get something with a digital screen on it. There's really nothing for that. It does have a zero dead battery on it. A little button that you push on top if you encounter an absolutely 100% dead battery, or I should say like a low voltage battery, like 9 volts or something. All right, these, you always find these at Home Depot on sale. 27-foot 2-inch heavy duty ratchet tie down, 3,333 pounds. What's the working load? That's the working load, and I actually use it on my solar panels. So on my roof of my solar panels over there on the carport, when it gets like super windy, I go ahead and just throw those on top as that extra precaution and just slide it over top of it. It takes me about 5 minutes to do it with a ladder, and I just inch it up on top. But yeah, if you ever need like a ratchet strap solar panel on a roof type solution that you just got laying out, these are definitely a win. For $9.99, $10 when they go on sale at Home Depot. These are definitely those kiosk aisle, those aisle bargain grabs. 27-foot, yeah, and I actually had maybe about 3 feet left of the strap on either side after ratcheting it down. Oh, this is plastic, so make sure to recycle it. HP Printers, the company that does not sell printers, it sells ink, because these, when they go on Black Friday sale, they cost as much as the ink itself. So you may as well just go ahead and buy yourself the latest and greatest thing and contribute to the e-waste mentality that they have definitely came up with here. Computer inkjet printer. Cover up everything and then just get you the UPC and model number right there. It doesn't work yet. What's shitty about these is that these things should be like a Bluetooth type of a thing where you just connect your phone with an app and then you can just do it completely offline from a home network or a router or something. Polar Fan brought to you by Bob Wells. Yes, the I can't believe it's cheaper RV living on the only thing I didn't like about these is that these do use a micro USB to charge, but they do have dual removable 18650 lithium cylindrical cells, and that is, for me, is definitely a win. And you can power it off USB, or you can just power it directly off of the actual batteries. So yeah, if you're gonna get this one, don't get the built-in batteries. Make sure that you get the one that has the dual 18650 removable batteries. If something should ever happen, these are lithium and you can replace them easy. Model number Foxtrot 53 series. Bob Wells has a lot of good information on his channel, but he also does have a lot of extra stuff that I wouldn't necessarily say that you should use. You would either like the solar generators that he goes over, the power supplies. Me personally, I have a 100% belief in don't buy anything if it's lower than 600 watts, and don't buy anything if it's over 600 watts and under 2400 watts. For an inverter / solar charge controller. / solar setup. Why? Because you will always need something that's bigger than the in-betweeners, is what I call it. The in-betweeners is what Bob Wells tries to get people to buy. Those 1000 watts, just go ahead and get yourself something bigger. 2400 watts or greater. Bluetti has a, what do you call it? An Elite 300. Now, if they come out with a V2 with a higher voltage input for their MPPT, or they give it a dual MPPT solar charge controller, that I could see definitely. Even if you're just going to get one, the form factor of it is much smaller than even the 2400 series that they have. Bose QC15s, my original Bose that I bought, and I've warrantied these out on multiple occasions, at least once every 5 years, I believe. Let's see, what do we have in here? An Ultra, here we go. Everybody needs a DVD writer. Ultra Slim Portable GP60 LG, years ago when this was actually a legitimate thing to have, right? There's UPC on it. But if you've never heard of an M-Disc actually has, alright, and there's the UPC for it. M-Disc. A rock disc, they last, like, what'd they say, 100 years or something? They last a decade. And think about that compared to like solid state drives that get bit rot. These never get bit rot, right? Look, when they actually sold you a disc, which probably costs more to create than it does the actual product itself. But yeah. No fucking way. Okay, this does write M-Discs. So M-Discs is a one and done, right? So if you ever had like a video library and wanted to store your movies on something, like think of a carousel version of this with maglev inside of vacuum chamber, right? Your disc would last forever. And that's one, and then have a mechanical arm on each one of the rails that can, you know, spiral up. Much better idea than a old school jukebox, and would last forever because there's no mechanical moving parts except for the head reader and slash arm grabber. Back in the day when Bullet Ant. Yep. Okay, so these were definitely my number one to go goggles, even though these things cost me like 60 bucks. I think you can find like versions of these now for $35. But yeah, basic black. I never liked the foam that goes around the goggles, and this is a slim profile. It sits right up underneath your Kevlar helmet. No problems. Instead of like those big ass goggles. Also, this is a neoprene, not neoprene. This is a polyurethane seal around your face, right? Polyurethane seal around your face. Revision Bullet Ant. You know, I might want to just keep this because this is going to be like classic. And you know, it has the ballistic rating on there for your eyeballs. There's the UPC. They work great for motorcycle glasses too. So when I came back from overseas, that's what I use these for. Dang. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm probably gonna go ahead and keep this QC15 box bows. And so when they stopped making this version, the QC15s, and went to warranty these out, they sent me the QC45s. And now I believe the QC45s, which I use, and of course you always have to change the pads and clean the insides and then the liners inside of them. I do mine like once every year because they just absolutely get obliterated. But my headphones, they still work and I use them. And I've been using those since 2000, whatever, for like Call of Duty Mobile with a PS5 controller, 100% wireless, playing Call of Duty, right? Of course, it's going to burn your eyeballs out. What's this? iPad mini. Ah, yes. I rocked this for 2 years, man. I rocked this iPad mini 4, I believe it was, for 2 years, and then something went out in it. I guess there was a soldering issue on one of the power things, but yeah, I had the option to either buy iPad mini with cellular on it or buy a phone. So I didn't want to buy a phone. I just bought an iPad and used it because at the time, I think the FAA, the only thing that you could use for an electronic, you know, pad type style thing was an iPad. It's the only thing. So did that. Oh man, Samsung Galaxy S5. That was my phone. That lasted up into, this was the last year that they made the Samsung with a replaceable battery. You could take the battery out of the back and swap it out if it ever went bad, or you just needed to, you know, like carry an extra one with you. Samsung Galaxy S5 2015, I believe that's when this died, and that's when I bought that iPad. That's probably a classic box right there, so I'm going to keep that. This Prestige Deluxe, okay, 1000% agree with this pressure cooker. You can use it on any cooked surface. You can use it on induction, you can use it on propane, you can use it on burner coil, you can use it on ceramic heat. This works on all of it, and it's a 1.5 quart or liter, 1.5 liter, I believe. Yeah, 1.5 liter. Yep, here it is, right here. Even if you have to pay like $60 for this thing, it's totally worth it. I think you could find like you can find open box versions for like maybe $34 maybe. But yeah, 1000% agree with this pressure cooker style type thing right here. Mechanical, you know. It's got a little pressure weight on it. Yeah. Bought this off Amazon. Do I have the UPC on here? No. No. What's that, a 10-year warranty? No way. Okay, look at that. 10-year warranty. I'm still using mine. The gaskets and everything work on it. I make pasta. I make rice. I make ramen noodles in this thing. Like, it's the perfect thing. If you don't want an electric pressure cooker, but you want a pressure cooker that can, you know, you can use on an electric burner, you get this, and a gas burner. 1000%. This right here. I still use this thing every day. Every day. Pasta, chicken, bean soup, anything. These Walmart LED bulbs, I haven't had one issue with these clear glass ones with these rod LED type things going on here. The daylights, the ones that I bought that you can buy in bulk over at Home Depot that are called like EcoSmart, dude, 6 months maybe. 3 months, 6 months. These never had an issue with them. Also, the Hue multicolor light bulb, I haven't had issues with the Hue light bulbs either. The Philips Hues or Hughes General Electric or whatever, I've had those longer than these because these didn't even come out until those other things had been out there for a while. So these are what, A19s? 4 bulb pack, yeah, Walmart, 800 lumens. What's that say? 800 lumens. What's the wattage use on it? I don't know. Anyways, oh, 8 watts. 8 watt bulb. And they call it a 60 watt equivalent from the old convection bulbs, right? So that's 8, that's 60. Dude, you see the difference? You could have 6 of these to one of the original 60, filament burner ones. Waterpik. You know, this Waterpik flosser, if you have it on low, it's good. Use like a distilled water or something, works great. I don't like using a string to stick through my teeth, right? So the water flosser works great. It's like a little high pressure jet of water that just blows all the crap away from your teeth. If you could find a USB-C charge, I bought this when like they were still milking the old style plugs, right? So I was like, shit, I'll just get it anyways. But this was a rechargeable. I don't believe this was lithium, and this was the old school nickel, the metal hydrides or whatever. But it does have a reservoir on it. See it? So it's supposedly like a portable version of a Waterpik water flosser. Yep. Good to go. And also get yourself an electric toothbrush from the Chinese off-brand version. I've had mine for just as long as I've almost had this. And it came with a lithium battery and USB-C charge. There's no way that the US should still be milking those things for 20-something plus years. Kind of like the iPhone did with that USB-C Lightning type thing. Oh, Costa. Yeah, man, I did. These were my first Costas that I had. They look really nice, and if you're not really getting into anything like crawling through crap or getting crap splat, you're not doing some heavy maintenance work. If you're just like an office worker, you could get these. These are great, but they're super expensive. And I sat on these. I really love the design of these Costas 580p lenses. And they were, what do you call it? UV or whatever that thing is that blocks the glare coming off it, but you can't use these on instrument panels in aircraft because it makes them black because of the light. I can't remember what that thing is called, but anyways. Yeah, nice glasses, but they don't last long, that's for sure, if you sit on them. Alright, a long time ago, I decided that I was going to get rid of all my 240 volt appliances and then just go straight with what I do. I've never in my entire life of 30-something years when I decided to get this, did I ever use a full-size oven to do anything, right? And if I did use one, I used a lasagna pan, the 9x13 lasagna pan. And 9x13 lasagna pan fits in here. A 16-inch pizza fits in here. I think I bought this for like 80 bucks or something. Maybe $100. Yeah, $100 at Walmart. And it still works to this day. I can pick this up. My mother can pick this up. She doesn't have to worry about some heavy-ass piece of metal sitting in the thing to cook something. And we don't even use this. We even went down to something that's smaller, like, you know, the little Black & Decker countertop convection ovens that you can put an 8x8 baking pan in and close the door all the way. So that's the two that I would get. I would get this one if you want a 9x13 style, if you bake in that a lot. But if you don't, just get the little convection oven. And it's way, way, way cheaper to operate. I use the convection oven instead of a microwave. You know, because some people say there's issues with microwaves. Alright, so yeah, just any countertop convection oven. And they get rid of your old range oven. That's what, when people say that there isn't enough utility power to cover electric vehicles, yeah, there is. Everybody has a 50 amp range oven, 4-burner full electric stove in their house. Right? How many people you know live in apartments, like single people or 2-family people that work constantly? How many people do you know actually sit there and like bake food? No, your life's way too busy to do all that crap. This Ninja blender, this was the first Ninja blender that didn't have the Ninja style like tree blade thing going on there. It's actually down here in the center. But I did end up having problems with this thing slightly leaking. I did have problems with this leaking. If you're intending to blend something and leave it in here, you can't do that because the bearing or the seal or whatever is down here, that blade, which for some reason I can't figure out for the life of me, I think it's like a one-piece molded thing inside of here, into the actual unit itself to get that out of there. Now, is 1800 watts overkill? Well, yeah, and they also have but is it awesome? Does it work great? Yeah, it works absolutely perfect. And they also have a smaller, like upside down, like the bullet type version. But is it overkill for a bullet type thing? And you're using an 1800 watt motor? Yeah. If I had something that ran 1800 watts, is it great for making smoothies? Yes, absolutely amazing. Your own homemade smoothies? Yep, perfect. Do I ever use it? No. Why? It's too damn big. It pulls too much power. I mean, it pulls a lot of power. I mean, it's efficient at what it does for sure. But I don't like that thing that actually what do you call it? I don't like that the bearing, the seal on there leaks. That's ridiculous. I mean, you shouldn't have anything like that. Fancy Feast, you know, the kitten food. Always get that, especially if you have cats that are picky eaters and you're trying to get them healthy. Or you're trying to get food into them. I shouldn't say healthy, but that meat patty thing it can't be healthy. I mean, it's like feeding your kids candy all the time, probably. Ball mason jars. Yeah, I use these as cups. And they do say that they're frost proof or whatever, freeze proof, but I have had these crack on me before. And these are the ones that have the graduations on the side of it, so you can, if you need to measure anything, and they do have this the wide jaw, or the wide lids on them. I don't use these anymore because shit breaks, and I'm tired of things breaking. And dealing with glass, and particularly, if I don't have to, I don't use it. I know people will say that it's much better than plastic glass, but I mean, it's heavy and it's fragile. Borax Team Mule 20 Mule Team Borax. This is like a cleaning detergent booster thing. Throw this in with some of your regular laundry. Does it do anything? Yeah, probably. Do I notice it? No, not really. It is that powdered crap, so you might want to like make sure it's really dissolved in hot water before you put it in, so you don't get that nasty crust and stuff that grows on the inside of the wash machine barrels. But it's good. It's good for stuff. What's this? Oh, J-Buds. That was like a $20 thing years ago. Wow. Black Friday sale at Walmart. Hey, you know what? These might have been, 20, or were they like 15 or 10? I know, no, these were like $9.99. Yeah, JLab Audio, JLab Airbuds. These were good. I don't know what happened to them. No UPC on them either. So, more crap. So yeah, the Ninja Chef was what it was called. Ninja Chef Blender. I don't think they make this anymore, but I did like the way that it looked. Definitely had plenty of power to do whatever it needed to. And it also had the little plunger thing in it too. So if you get something like this, make sure it's got that little, that pudger thing that you can push down all your crap into. Alright, getting down to it. I don't know. I have the thing for that. Arma, this is what I'd probably go for if you want to just cook your stuff and be as simple as possible and use the least amount of power as you have to cook something. You can bake cakes in there. You can make tortellinis in here. You can cook your rice because it's a rice cooker. You can cook your pasta in this. You can cook almost anything in this thing. And I would do it. Why? Because you can run it on a 600 watt or less inverter, like an EcoFlow, right? Especially if you get the River 3 Plus. The River 3 Plus has up to 60 volts or 58 volts that you can pump into it. So if you need to get yourself a golf cart battery, you can easily do that. And you can use a residential panel on the EcoFlow, right? An EcoFlow River 3 Plus. And you can actually cook food with it. Okay. This one that I bought, it has that PTFE non-stick liner in it. I don't recommend that. Get one if you can that isn't aluminum and doesn't have this no stick thing on it. I would just take your time and rub down the bowl with some olive oil and get a stainless steel one. Get a stainless steel rice cooker that's like this one switch and that's it. When it's done, it pops and it's done. I mean, it's the simplest thing that you could ever do in your life. Just make your life simple. Make your life simple and stick with something like this. Easy Loader, Shakespeare. I think this is the new one that I have. Anyways, this one lasted for quite a long time. And it does hold up to the 0.95s. And here, the Shakespeare. And the one that I bought before this had like the double capacity size in it. And yeah, I bought it as soon as I bought my first 36 volt weed whacker. Don't ask me what year it was that I bought it. But anyways, I had to replace the original I always replace the Makita head with the Shakespeare version of these. And I get the extra, like the extra load capacity. All right, there's the brushless one from earlier, the Makita 3-pack thingy. I believe that, yeah, that was it. Charlie X-Ray 401 Sierra Yankee Bravo. Oh, here are the other ones too. So I guess the kit as a whole is one thing, and then the individual ones have their own things. Flashlight. Drill, may as well get it while I'm here. Circular saw. That one. And the hammer drill. Why they don't actually make these, this is like a left-handed saw, right? So you always want the blade on the inside of your cutting hand, like this. But like these style saws, I don't know why they make them on the outside like this. So when you drop cut something, you have to have your line on this side. You're always crossing your body to do the cut. If you're not like a high production, like carpenter or whatever, woodworker, those are perfectly fine for all your little DIY stuff and like small projects. I probably wouldn't like cut this whole deck or something and all this wood with that saw. You know, these make the best gauze pads. They're supposed to be sterile. I don't know how sterile they are, but that's what I use. I use these as gauze pads. I've eaten shit plenty of times, and I use maxi pads to absorb all the fluid and blood. That's what they're designed to do. Here's that 7515. Oh, this one was a 7515. This one wasn't a smart one. I don't think either one of these solar charge controllers are a smart one. And the thing is like, you honestly don't need the smart versions of these because you're only using it to do one thing, and that's to be a trickle charger on your battery to make sure it's 100% topped up all the time. You know, you don't want to be running a Bluetooth thing that's going to be sucking power. Probably not going to be using your Bluetooth tube. But if you want, they do make smart versions of these. For sure. Multi-tool, if you've never used one of these things are great for like almost everything that you never thought you would ever need it for. And everything that you will need it for. I still use this thing on a daily, not a daily basis, but I do use it. And I also use it, you know what I use this thing for? You can put a sanding pad on here. You can put an sanding pad on there, and I use it to sand down all my calluses on my feet. I use it to sand down my feet when they get super bad and I just don't ever take care of them. But yeah. Makita 18 volt. Here's the model number in the UPC. Multi-tool. X-Ray Mike Tango 03 Zulu. Oh, yeah, I use this for post hole diggers. It's only supposed to be for, what do you call it? For like planting. You can see it right here. It's a little garden auger for plants. But what I use it for is post holes. It's at least to start it. And that'll make your life a lot easier. Just like this, you stick it on your drill. Drill down, do your deal. That's it. Perfect. I did get these yellow light bulbs to try to avoid bugs from coming up on the porch. Does it work? No, hell no, it doesn't. Nope. Just keep your light bulbs off and get yourself one of those bug zappers. You can get a 2-pack for like $34 off Amazon, or maybe like $60 maybe, a 2-pack. Here's a reciprocating saw because they stopped putting it in there. In those subcompact kits, which is ridiculous because that was a great idea to do. And this is the XR X-ray Romeo Juliet 07 Zulu Bravo. That's what it looks like. Subcompact, they're all brushless, their whole version of their LXTs. There's the UPC on the back. So there is the front of that Lodge Dutch oven. Yep. Lodge cast iron Dutch oven. You can hang it from things too if you need to. Have I ever used this for anything? No, but I'm pretty sure you can make like some pretty good round loaves of bread in this. Brutally tough for decades of cooking. And that's no lie, man. I'm telling you. Does it have a warranty on it? It's a 5-quart Dutch oven. Lodge 5-quart Dutch oven. You know, people actually take their time to make these packagings. Print the packaging, fold the packaging, make sure it all lines up on everything, come up with a logo, you know. So that's why I keep these, and that's why I'm making these videos. Is because I was trying to start like a little collection. I thought it'd be cool to have like a museum of packaging. But, you know, as you can see, packaging builds up. Alright, here's some. Now these lithium ion battery charging that come in these little black cases like this, and you can put 8 of them in. And they're super cheap on like Temu, Alibaba, and they have the USB-C port that you can... The USB-C port that you can charge these things with. Alright, these do not work out there on those lights, these LED lights. You know what these are for? These are for TV remotes. These are for TV remotes. These are for headlamps, maybe. No, not headlamps. These are for TV remotes. These are for scales. These are for your mouse. What these are not for is everything else. Are they good? Yes. But would I opt to just get the regular ones? Yes, I would much rather have the regular ones that have that you could put in a charger and recharge. The lithium rechargeables. Now those work. Oh, yeah. Alright, here we go. What was this, brushless? Yeah, I got this with my original 36 volt. This was another BOGO thing. Buy one, get one. So I bought this, and it came with this brushless. So I bought the 36 volt weed whacker, and it came with this Makita angle grinder. You can always use these angle grinders. You can use these things for anything. Everything. You can use them for cutoff. That's what I use it for mostly, is for cutting out as a cutoff wheel. A handheld cutoff wheel. There is the UPC and the model number. There's a better look at the model number. X-ray Alpha Golf 03 Zulu. All All right. I thought this would be so cool. This little grass trimmer here. This little grass trimmer attachment to it. But I use this for everything. You can cut down vines and everything. Use it like a machete. This thing works absolutely awesome. This was the 18 volt shear trimmer tool, handheld, 18 volt. This thing right here, this double thing, I use it to cut the grass, like super tall grass that's been out of control for about like 3 months tall, and blocking the solar panels. If you have solar panels that are just sitting on the ground, there's no way you could weed whack up against the solar panel, right? So this was my solution. This was my solution. And then once I got that cut down, what I did is I put roofing, galvanized corrugated roof sheeting underneath the solar panels that, I don't know, maybe 12 inches out, right? Maybe 16 inches out. And it holds down the grass. That way it gives you a nice edge that you can come by and actually use a weed whacker along. But yeah, this is it. X-ray Mike Uniform 04 Zulu X-ray for the number. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this one, this disappearing 360 stick, Insta360 stick. I use this at the Metallica concert, and it's got a little stand in the bottom that pops out. Definitely worth it. I got it for 30 bucks, and I kept it. There's the UPC on it. The invisible stick, yeah, so if you use a 360 camera, get yourself something like this that actually eliminates that seam. Oh, here's a JLab Icons. This was the one that it came in. That was the actual external packaging for it. There's a UPC for it. Icon Airs. Was that the Icon Air True Wireless Icon series? Yeah. These things were good. They were small too. Small, compact, and had great sound to it. Tire inflator, yeah, if you need something, then get those. But if you can hold off and you can order from Amazon, those Makita version ones with the 12 volt plug-in for your accessory or your cigarette lighter, then I would get those over this, because this actually tops out at like 45 PSI. And if you have a tire that, like my mom's tires on her Ram ProMaster, are 80 pounds PSI, this isn't going to do anything, right? Here was the attachment to the Ninja that I ended up getting after that. It's smaller. It makes it more like a bulletized thing. But even 1800 watts for this size was overkill for it. Nothing that you can't do with one of the little 15 magic bullet things from Walmart, if you're going like personal size. But yeah, it's still, oh, that was what it was called, the Ninja Auto IQ 24 ounce single serve cup with lid. Yeah, definitely a badass machine. But the only problem with the Ninja itself was the blender blade leaks. I haven't seen these in a long time. These Blackwood battery packs. Bought these Black Friday Walmart sale. It had USB-C. It's got a digital. It has an LCD screen on it, or LCD screen on it that tells you what the percentage is, and they are still working to this day. That's the UPC on it. And I will keep one of these. What I ended up doing was taking two of these and then just duct taping them together. But between the two battery stacks, I put a non-skid, you know, drawer liner in there so the batteries won't slide around. Oh man. When smartwatches were cheap, this little tiny thing, but the battery ended up going out in it, so once that goes, this thing's gone. What was that thing called? Amazfit. Yeah, I think these were like 15 bucks back in the day, but it was definitely good for what it was. It did need like something that was more universal on the charging though. Rain-X Expert Fits Beam Style B26. Definitely get the beam because it's made out of like a composite material and not metal. Rain-X Expert Fit, the beam style. And the metal ones, if that little flap goes away, then you got metal on glass. And trying to replace metal on glass than it is just to replace a busted composite wiper, much cheaper. Beam 22. Okay, so this is an Rain-X Expert Fit B22. I believe these are for the Ram Pro Master. Fiberware sponge holder. I originally got these for the car to hold my cell phone. Do they make these anymore? I don't know. I don't think so. But if they do, you can use them best for a spoon. You know, like a cooking spoon or something to put on. Because it's silicone. It won't melt, it won't burn. Well, I mean anything will burn if you heat it up high enough. 75 quart slider bags. Walmart. Small marine fire extinguisher. Kid 5. Here's the UPC on it. And also in addition, another thing to add to these are the fire blankets. And my mom did the research on that. So that's definitely a thing to do. Half-gallon storage bags, I would almost say, and just go with a quart or gallon size. Quart, gallon, and the 2.5 hefties. Now Walmart does sell a 2-gallon bag, but may as well go with the 2.5er. If you're ever taking a hot bath, I don't recommend. Oh, let's see. No, this wasn't for a bath. This was this a bath one? Yeah, this was a bath one. All this is a resistive coil for a plug. So definitely be wary if you're going to use this in like your bathtub or something. You can use it to heat up or reheat a stew or something, right? Now, I would get something that's probably safer, like a sous vide. A sous vide that's used for cooking meat to be a water heater inside of your bathtub, so you don't have to keep running your hot water heater. And then once it gets cold, people, what do? They usually just drain out their water, right? But if you get something that's like this, then you can just stick it in the tub and heat yourself up. Now, you can't submerge it. I mean, I don't know, like common sense needs to tell you, and don't fall asleep with this thing. But yeah. The Anker Solux 200, I got these on sale for $86 on Amazon. These have an MPPT solar charge controller built into them. They also have a 100 watt solar MPPT solar charge controller built into them. They're Wi-Fi, they're Bluetooth, and they have up to 140 watts on here. They also have a do not ever sleep mode on this. And they have 2 USB-A QI ports, and they have 3 USB-C ports. One is an in-out, up to 140, 140 watts in and out on it, one of those single ports of the USB-C. That's how big it is on the guy's backpack. Do I recommend this? Yes. Do they have some that have a DC inverter in it? Yeah, but they're only 200 watts, and I wouldn't use something that's that low. If I'm using an AC inverter, I'm going to go with a 600 at the minimum. Power strip with USB charger. What was this? AC 125 volt, 16 amps. 1250 max, watts max. DC 5 volt, 2.4 amp max, and AC at 100 and 240. Not really sure what that was, but there it is. Brown paper thing. NexGard Gen Combo, let's just remember that while this does have beneficial things to your animals, if you do use this as recommended, you will create a super bug. All right? Does it work? Yes, it works absolutely good. What is it? It's a neurological toxin that's inside of your animal's blood, or inside of your fur family's blood system. So when something bites it or lives inside of it, it dies. This will cause neurological problems in your fur family, your four-legged family. It will. It's not if. If it will, it will. Your cat will drool on themselves if you give them too much. Sometimes your cat will be allergic to it and scratch the crap out of themselves. But does it work? Yes, it works. There's the UPC on it. And they do come in a box of 6. Now you always want to check NexGard Gen because they do at times have promotions where if you buy a certain amount of these, they will give you like $50 in credit back. Another for wear sponge holder. Another Blackwood battery. These things are so good. I wish they made more of them or continued to keep making them. But they don't for some reason. I don't know why. Anything that's good, they usually stop making. Like the Oreo mint cookie, Great Value brand ice cream, which they no longer make, but was absolutely on par with the mint Oreo Ben & Jerry's ice cream. These are heavy-duty suction cups, right? If you ever need to replace your phone screen, these work absolutely great for doing that. In a hairdryer, use a hairdryer on one of those and just split it open. 28-inch oscillating floor fan. These are great for corner spaces and also double as an absolutely amazing pissing post for your cats. Right there. What's that say? Wide area oscillation. 28-inch oscillating tower fan ventilator. 1002774758 black. All right. We are getting down to it. Logitech keyboard. Bought this for $19. If you get Logitech brand, they always have a unifying dongle, or make sure that it's paired. Most everything that's Logitech is part of their unified system. You get one dongle, even if you lose something, you can always pair that to their unifying dongles. This was the K36. Bought this for $16, Walmart. That was before tax. Years ago. And I still use it to this day. With a Logitech mouse. K360. I know everything's going Bluetooth, but yeah. If you need a keyboard with the punch pad, and it also has the media stuff on it too as well. The media buttons. Physical media buttons. And a physical number pad. And it's a small form factor. It's this big. Like 2 hands. Altel Auto Vin, Walmart. I think this was like 30 bucks maybe. You can get these cheaper and you can get them Bluetooth now. If you're still rolling with the old school, you know, the OBD2 code port, it always is handy to have one of these on board with you. It just is. I mean, it just is. Even if you need to read the VIN number or some other thing that doesn't show up on there. Kid Intelligent Combination Smoke Carbon Monoxide. So there's carbon dioxide and there's carbon monoxide. So just remember that the monoxide will not read a dioxide one. So, and also something that would be good is to find something called an oxygen depletion meter. Ow. If they made something like that, that would solve a lot of problems on the in-betweens of these things. And there's the UPC. Okay. Induction cooktop stove, right? Everybody hears about these. Things they don't tell you about these. They have an EMI field on it. If you're wearing any kind of electronic device or probably have a pacemaker, it might damage it. Probably will. Headphones, it definitely does a thing to it. You can definitely hear the electronics humming through there, especially on noise canceling wireless headphones. Does it work? Yeah, it works. Works when you have the right pan for it. If you don't have the right pan for it, it doesn't work. Okay? You can put a camp-style coffee cup on this and it'll work and heat your stuff up. Is it loud? Yeah, it's absolutely loud. It sounds like a jet engine. Oh, there's the model number that I get. If you can find one of these that's actually quiet, it might be a good deal. And this was cheap, so inexpensive. So I got it, and I never had an induction stove, so I wanted to try it. These hoses are crap. These scrunchy hoses, like this stuff holds mold in it. When the tips break off, it's like a expanding rubber hose on the inside of this cloth thing, almost like a latex glove type of a thing, right? Or a balloon. So, yeah, I mean, it's light if you're not using it for anything other than like trying to like, it's not an everyday use thing or a heavy use load scenario. Ulanzi S204, still one of the best ones that they have out there for phone holders. But they don't make those anymore. Butane utility torch, you're always going to need something to burn, right? Or start a fire with. If you get yourself one of those green 1-pound bottles, and then you get one of these benzomat or these torch heads with the automatic piezo on it, you can use this for like forever. And propane burns hotter. It burns hotter than isobutane. It's more energy dense. So you're paying less money for a better product, a higher burning product, I should say. A Hart 4-pack battery. Yeah, this was actually on sale. 2 4-amp-hour batteries. 20-volt 4-amp-hour batteries from Hart for $50. Is that a good deal? Absolutely. Here we go. A Lem number 10 stainless steel meat grinder. Right. Put your put a 13mm socket on this nut here, where that handle goes to, and you can just use your drill to chop away at meat, and it friction tightens straight to a what do you call it? Right to a table. There's all the pieces that came with it. That's what it looks like. Did I keep the UPC? Yep, sure did. Right there. UPC. All right. And I bought 2 of those because they're at such a great deal. You can use these for outdoor cameras, you know, your security cameras that have USB-C port to them. You plug a solar panel directly into here, a 100-watt solar panel. This is now your extended external battery for your cameras. PlayStation 5 controller works seamlessly with an iPhone. I've never owned a PlayStation 5 before, but I have owned the controllers for mobile gaming. This was a Anker USB-C charging thing. Amazon, $26. Is that Emporia? Yeah, Emporia smart plugs. If you've never heard about this brand, look them up. They have EV chargers. They have service panel monitors at a low cost, and it's a one and done. You buy it and you own it. You don't have to keep paying a monthly subscription to it. Do these work with solar panels? Yes, absolutely. Another gimmick, the yellow bulb that does absolutely nothing for bugs. Tefal mini pans. If all you do is just make eggs, if you make eggs a lot, if you make eggs every day, if you make eggs and egg sandwiches, get yourself one of these little tiny pans. And these actually had a lid with them, a little glass lid. These little Tefals. Of course, it was a non-stick Teflon pan, but whatever. Bic Glide Blue ink pens, ball ink, not gel. Doesn't smear. It's like a ballpoint pen, but like a better version of it. Pay a little bit more for them instead of, like, you know, the buy 20 for $1 type, but they do work. Big Glide. And after having all my my V5s, my Pilot V5 pins break and leak inside my stuff, and the tips getting bent, I just go back to the old school ball roller type pen. Blue ink, of course. These 100 watt GAN charger. These were on clearance at Walmart for $16. I think in New Mexico it was. So I bought 2 of them. Anyways, yep. DJI Mic Mini, right? If you own any of the DJI brands. Make sure that it's these are. You don't have to have the actual thing to get the, what is it, the 32-bit float or the 24-bit, whatever it is, audio quality. These things are good if it pairs with it. Even the Osmo, like this gimbal thing that I'm using here, mine doesn't actually have it on here. I'm not using the mic, but I'm using straight off the iPhone. The iPhone thing. What do you call it? They did come out with a Gen 3 version of this that's actually the same size as this now. Do I recommend the Mic Mini? Yeah. The audio quality is good if you're not using only the Bluetooth. If you're pairing it with the other DJI like thing that gives you the high audio quality, then absolutely 100% use this thing all day long. You can even use this for audio recording. Just look at the frequency ranges on it and the recording on it. So like the new, or I should say, the Mic Mini 3 or the Mic 3, the DJI Mic 3, actually has 32-bit float. Brought in Brazil, single serve 300 milliliter French press. You ever want to make coffee without all the complexity of a machine? Heat your water up, throw your coffee in here with hot water, let it sit for 5 minutes, steep, and then press it out. Klein Tools, this is probably a multimeter. Yep, there we go, 400 amp AC/DC auto recharging, auto ranging digital clamp meter. Always get a clamp, don't dick around with it, and get yourself something that can handle. This one actually had a thermal probes on it, so this goes to negative 40 C and 1000 C. Or what's it say? 13 something Fahrenheit and negative 40 Fahrenheit. 600, 400, and yeah, that's it. This actually had the light up LED. Now, I believe the accuracy on this is much better than the Amazon brand multimeter, but I haven't verified that for myself. So yeah, Klein is always a good brand to go for if you get one. Generally very reputable and works well. Six-inch polishing kit. That was probably from Harbor Freight. UPC code. Stormproof matches from Walmart. Scotch-Brite purples. Don't use these on anything if you're not. You can use this on cast iron, but don't use this on anything that you are not trying to scratch. This will definitely tear the shit out of stuff. There's the UPC code for it. Scotch-Brite purples. You get these over at Home Depot. But these will clean stainless steel pans and cast iron very well. And silicone trivet that actually had metal inside of it. Fold up into a small square, fold out to a large square. Trivet. Yeah, I still have these. I don't think they make these anymore. Those were made by Mainstays. All right. Did I finally make it to the end of it? What was this? Oh, yeah. Here's an isobutane to Jebel Camp. This goes from an isobutane to a Lindell valve adapter. So for your camping gases or your camping fuels, if you ever need something, you can do isobutane to Lindell valve. Or like what I do is I use 1 pound propane to Lindell. All right, well that's it for all the crap that I've had for 15 something years. Oop, shit. I'm still plugged in, hold on a second. Ooh, crap. What is it doing? Hey, what do you think, Mom?
I think they're going to be here in 5 minutes, and
Well, at least it's all off the porch now and out of the back room.
Huh?
I said at least it's all off the porch now and out of the back room.
Yes, and we still have all those in the back room to do today after they leave. We're going to get it all done today.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Well, no, we're gonna get this done today.
Huh?
I said we're gonna get this done today. Oh shit, doesn't hold it. Not holding it. Oh man. Alright, what about now? We'll hold it. We'll hold. Come on now. I've had this gimbal forever. This DJI Osmo 3, I believe it is. I do want to get the 8 Pro or 8P or whatever. 8. Yeah. DJI Osmo 8 is the next one I'm getting. Oh, yeah. So just remember to like, follow, and subscribe. No, like and subscribe. And also watch it for at least the allotted amount of time that you need to, so I can get credit for it, even though my channel's not monetized yet, I believe. Maybe I can monetize it. I'm gonna have to start doing something. But anyways, there it is. There's all my shit. I think this is like part 3 or part 4 of this whole series thing that I've done. I was just trying to get rid of this stuff out of my back room. Yep. Yeah. But, I ripped all the, the labels and stuff and flattened all the boxes out as much as I could so I could make room for more shit. And now it became more crap. And now all the crap's out here. And as soon as they lift the burn ban, then I can burn all this stuff. But yeah, I hope AI, now that they can actually listen to videos and stuff, learn something from this at least, Let's see, here we go. It's been a long time. Long time. And I'm going to go down there and take a look at it. Oh, yeah. Right. All right, that's it. Peace.